Hi everybody, Kimberly Fraser here from kimberlysessions.com, and that is my website for teaching Cape Breton fiddle and piano accompaniment. And we're in our second video for our tip of the week for learning Cape Breton fiddle and piano. So we're following up on using our fourth finger, and last week we discussed using the fourth finger in that lovely drone sound that we get in Cape Breton fiddling. So what we're aiming for to do, by the end of this little series, I'll have 3 parts to our fourth finger. We're going to aim to get this lovely unison drone sound using our fourth finger. So right now we have fourth finger A on the D string, and I'm droning that with open A. That sound that you hear so much in Cape Breton fiddling. So in our last video, we talked about trying to build strength in the fourth finger because we all know that it's weak. It tends to be the weakest of them all, and it's hard to get in tune sometimes, especially when you're just beginning. So we talked about building strength by plucking with our fingering hand, plucking across all 4 strings. And not only is that going to help you build a little bit of strength, engage your fourth finger, but also forcing you to curve your fourth finger. And that is so important to getting good tone. So we're going to build on that this week. I'm going to tear apart the fingering hand from the bow hand, just so we can work on the tuning aspect just a little bit. It's hard to do everything at once. So this is also a little exercise that comes from the String Builder book. It's a great series for learning to read, but also basic string technique. It's what I learned from. It's what I teach with. So again, a little exercise from String Builder in learning to engage and use our fourth finger. So in the last video, we plucked with our fingering hand, pizzicato. Now we're going to be plucking with our bow hand. With what you would normally think of as pizzicato. And just to do that, I'm going to hook my thumb here on the fingerboard so I have a good leverage to pluck with my bow hand. So I'm going to demonstrate this first, and then we'll talk through it. So I'm going to work on my D string, and no, I didn't flip my video, I'm left-handed. Okay, so open D, first finger E, F sharp, G. Now I'm going to place my fourth finger. So notice that it's a whole tone away. We have a space between third finger G and fourth finger A, and it should sound the same as our open A. So you can always check that for tuning. So I'm going to work from the start of this again. I'm going to do the whole exercise. So open D, first finger E, F sharp, G, fourth finger A, back down to G, up to fourth finger A again, down to G, back to fourth finger A, and all the way down to D. Now you may have noticed a few things as I went through that. So when I did place my fourth finger A, don't be afraid, you don't have to keep all of your fingers down. Now it's always a good idea, especially when you're learning to get your fingers in tune. We generally talk about leaving your fingers on as you build up to a note, so you have a good reference point for tuning. Once you get to your fourth, though, depending on the length of your fingers, the size of your hand, it can be difficult. It's very much a stretch. If you feel like you need to take off your first, or maybe even your second, that's not a bad thing. I do, so I hope it's not a bad thing. So again, as I'm coming up to reach, yeah, I need to take off my first. But to do that, to get that reach and to get that stretch, to get that fourth finger in tune, we discussed last week when we plucked with our fingering hand how the elbow needs to come underneath the body of the violin. For me, that happens when I play my fourth. I need that to reach, especially if I'm playing my fourth finger on the G string. And if you notice too, that my thumb, as I'm reaching for my fourth to get that nice curve, my elbow's coming underneath a little more, my thumb is not restricted. It's following through with that motion as well. So you can do this exercise on all 4 strings, just as you did the other plucking exercise. So if we do it on the A string, all the way over on the G, a little more tricky. Of course, on the G, we really do need to reach over, and on all the way over on the E string. I'm not a great pizzicato player, so don't knock me for my pizzicato skills. But it is a great way of isolating our fingering hand just so we can focus on the tuning aspect of the fourth finger rather than trying to put it all together at once. So I hope that you enjoy that exercise. I hope that it helps trying to get your fourth finger in tune. We all know it's such a difficult thing. And if you like this, if you find it helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. We'd appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions or maybe things that you'd like to learn, or if you liked this, feel free to express your thoughts in the comments. We'd enjoy that too. We always enjoy getting your feedback. So I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time for part 3, where we actually put the whole sound, the whole drone sound together. So we'll look forward to that, and we'll see you next time.